Let's hope this channel works. And it's only because we're in Mercury retrograde. So those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I cover the astrology. I connect with the collective energy. And I've basically been getting ready this morning, ready for November, meditating upon, do I do mid-month? Do I do a twin flame update, collective energy? And I started off doing the read for November. And this morning I was guided to the news and I went, interesting, the energy has shifted. And it is what a lot of astrologers have directly been talking about. I'm having my soup, I'm having a detox. And when I pulled the cards, I went, this is pretty much, because I started off with Libra. I tend to just pick and choose whichever's coming through with my guides. And the funny thing is, we have just had the new moon in Libra, and I was looking at it and I'm going, I don't know, man, this is really looking like a current energy. It's really not looking like the energy of, November energy. It's something that we're moving out of, a cycle we're directly moving out of, which really does make sense because the shadow energy of Libra is Aries and the Aries shadow energy is Libra. So we've got this juxtaposition, and even today on the 20th, for me, I'm on the 20th. For some of you, you're at the 19th. You're moving into that energy as we speak, because I'm in Australia. So some of what I'm getting through in a channeling and directly looking at the astrology, which I do have open on the browser, there's still that separation between masculine and feminine energy, because, and it's not a personal thing. It's more in an integration sense. Spiritually, what we're doing is coming to terms with situations, looking at things. And look, it doesn't mean to say that you're not looking at them from the same perspective. A lot of it with such heavy Capricorn energy, we've got Saturn in Capricorn, we've got Pluto in Capricorn, we've got Jupiter in Capricorn. We're literally, I did say the end of this year was going to be super hard. It's really tiring. I mean, with the fatigue energy, initially with Mars retrograde and Aries and Chiron retrograde, when I was directing the energy into situations of co-creativity, I was coping with the frequency. Now that it's come full circle, it really, and I always say this, it's always at the end of a transit. The end of that transit does tend to amplify. So the exhaustion is there. Libra energy is Venus as well. So you may be eating a lot and going, heck, I need to go on a diet. And I'm not promoting it. I'm merely suggesting that because it is Venus-based energy. And we're going to have a full moon in Taurus on the 30th, which I will be doing updates for house by house, and I'll do collective energy for that as well. So if you haven't sub, and you can ask questions after the videos, I do super chat. With that polarity, they're both Venus signs. So, looking at things and maybe having to let go of things that maybe don't serve you. And that can be food, it can be luxuries, it can be finances, and tying up situations with Pluto at the moment, really, having this movement where it's tying those cycles out. And even with Mercury retrograde, hi, Dom, Mercury goes direct, and I'll give you some dates. We have Mercury direct on the 3rd of November. It's currently in Scorpio, which collective energy is very much 8th house placement. So it's what do we need to let go of? Spiritually, it can be endings. I've had very synchronistic things happen connected to the 8th house. I have Libra and Cancer in my chart. And with mine, it was, like I mentioned in the community tab, I had contact from my family and they were speaking about the fact that they were going to visit the grave for my father. 8th house can be very much, endings, legacies, shared resources. It can be wills and things to that degree. Passing away of relatives have been occurring. So that's been occurring. Hi, Rebecca. So, all of those synchronistic energies, the sharing of resources, it's coming up in the collective, elections and things to that degree. With Mars retrograde, it's bringing up the frequency of agitation, rebellion, especially for those of us that are, really feeling quite stifled by the frequency, very suppressed with the nodes as well. Being in Gemini, which will be there for 2.5 years, it does make you feel as though you're a rat in a cage. And I heard that theme really coming through. For some of us that are very used to our own company, we could be handling this energy really well. For others of us, it feels very stifling in nature, and it's, really wanting to have things go back to the way they were before. And with Aries and Chiron retrograde, even at a very karmic level, people that are very uncomfortable with the notion of change has been happening all the time. And I watched a movie last night. I'll have to see if I can remember it. It was The Big Bang. And Sheldon was getting very upset about the fact that, he had won this Nobel Prize and, his partner decided to change and she wanted to change her hair. It's almost like a Venus retrograde. She's like, right, I'm changing my hair, I'm changing my wardrobe. And he was panicked. And Penny really sat with him and had a very profound chat in this episode. And it was like, well, you've changed X, Y, and Z. And, this has changed X, Y, and Z. And you're still here and it's fine. So it is the notion of change has been happening at all times. But for some reason, we're sort of telling ourselves that the old way of being feels safer. Well, theoretically, it's because you know what it is. It's similar going into a new job. You've sort of been doing it for so long, especially through your ascension process. You tend to feel that it feels very natural to do something that you know how to do like the back of your hand, because if you've got spiritual and energetic things coming up, it's easier to do something that you know how to do. So karmically speaking, for us collectively, if we're having to leave some situations, and that's even letting go of control, a lot of spiritual paths is very much our attachments and our ego due to pain body experiences, due to personal experiences that have happened, that our belief and our theory and our notion we're battling against in a sense of an ego, but it doesn't mean to say it's wrong or right. It doesn't mean to say it's right either. So when you're looking at it, you could energetically go into looking at tags in life and, trying to really fixate on them that's going to be forever. And, the sun and the moon, they do their transits, but at the end of the day, things are changing all the time. I mean, your hair will change. It'll go grey one day or white. We may not have our teeth forever. I mean, you may get dentures. Who knows? Let's get into the frequency of the download. So yes, there has been that element of change. Now, when I started pulling the cards, and I used about 4 decks, and I sat with it, and as soon as these cards were coming out, I was like, yeah, Yildiz, this isn't really coming through for next month. This is this month's energy moving into November, because we do have the full moon in Taurus. We are moving into eclipse season. So, don't be surprised if you see weather patterns change. And you do tend to find that, hi True Heart, about 2 weeks in, maybe even sometimes 4 weeks. And because we do have the nodes in Sagittarius and Gemini, I am seeing energetically that with the Mercury energy, it can be very windy, weather-based frequency changing, socialization and things to that degree changing. Both with new and full moons, I have seen pretty much the yin and yang happening with those energies at the moment. And I really did say, considering it's a new moon that we just had on the 16th with Libra, my intuition was telling me, I don't know, man. I was like, marriages, contracts, partnerships at 7th house placement. We just had at the beginning of the month the full moon in Aries. We have Aries and Chiron retrograde. We have Mars retrograde. That's okay, darling. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was trying to get ready for the pre-recordings, but, it ended up coming to you guys instead. So this is the way it was destined, so we're just going to trust it. So with the energy of Mars, it could be where we've channeled our energy into situations, and I have done the readings for you guys previously. So if, you're new to the channel and you want to look at those placements, please go look at your zodiac signs, because the way I generally format them is to the T of what's coming up astrologically, what major hits you're going to get to your chart, and the themes that can be playing out to a degree. Then I tap into the cards and the psyche. With each placement, we're having a yin and yang effect of that. So it's both, okay, with what we're partaking in a situational ship versus where we were putting our energy into things and where we had wounds. We may not directly resonate with certain things, and that can be a purgatory experience. And it is really an ending energy. So yes, being October, it's a vibration 10. With any new beginning, which, 10 in the tarot is really, reaching that completion, having a full committed relationship. And the Venus element, which is Libra at the moment, it is marriage, contracts, partnerships energy coming through in astrology. So with that, we do have green on the table. And we do have old and new energy. there is this soul contract, so to speak. And I'll get into some of the things I've been seeing. Number one, I keep seeing the term Jason. And another friend of mine who I've done readings for before, we did communicate during the week, and it came up to me again during a reading. I noticed the term Jason. Now, when I was doing coding on my website, I had been priorly seeing this term. Giggle and I have talked about it as well, and I will be interviewing her at some point on the channel, and I will be, connecting with people and bringing you guys on board to see some of your psychic downloads, and we can sort of channel the energy together. With it, number one, the first thing that was told to me is it's not a name. It is theoretically a name, but synchronistically, my guides were showing me it's both code, which technically connected to nodes in Gemini. It's very technology orientated, and it can be encrypting and encoding situations. It's also can link to dates and times. There you go. Okay, so July, August, September, October, November. So again, between now and November, which this video is based on, crazy, I'm going to really have a firm look at November for the astrology, because it does feel very cryptic in nature that whatever we're completing, there's going to be, it's a hard pocket of energy between now and the end of the year. We do have the eclipses, and then bang, we're moving into 2021. If you look at other astrologers with Saturn-Pluto conjunction, we really talk about this being a pivotal time in society where things are shifting and changing and feeling very uncertain, but it's going into the light. So the shift energetically had to happen in order for the bigger picture to occur. When you do look at nodes in Sagittarius in historical terms, and you can go and do the research yourself if you feel inclined to do so, it can link to kings, queens, gurus, religious groups, and changes in that. There was somebody that was talking about it the other day, and I'm sorry I can't remember her name, and it was discussing the elements of astrology in the past, linked 500 years ago, and the elements of, changes that were occurring back then, and very synchronistically, similar things at a very karmic level are happening now. Even when we do look at, elections and things to that degree, synchronistically speaking, Donald Trump happens to have the same nodes as the direct nodes that we currently have now. So he is actually having a nodal return, which is very karmic in energy. So what he previously would have been in a past life was, potentially a spiritual person, a religious person. What he's supposed to be moving towards is the South Node of, again, understanding people, Gemini energy, dealing with social activities and things to that degree, but also very karmically inside his own life doing things to that degree. And it's funny because when I was talking to a spiritual friend earlier, we're really seeing energetically, and this sounds bizarre, there must be something else happening separate to that kind of takes the light off that one direct area for some given reason, but I'll leave that for a separate channeling. So I've been seeing the term Jason. I've also been seeing the need to let go so that we can move forward and to trust the process. Hi, Jan. And of course, with the planets going direct and the eclipse factors going on. Now, for some reason, I have also noticed that with the nodes, they're still playing out in a very karmic sense at the moment. So, Ascension Tarot, big shout out to you. We were discussing karmic cycles energetically on YouTube to a degree that they've changed, they've shifted, they've ended. Yes and no. Especially if you go back, again, shout out to another person, Leo King. What you do find is when you mention these things, especially with moon energy, it transfers over, during that month, but it is a 12-month cycle. It's a 6 to a 12-month cycle with any given situation. So it's continuously rotating. And at that point, whatever was going on, it's transforming, and you have that amount of time to cycle it out. Now, we had the nodes shift in May. What I am seeing with my clientele, hi, Eddie, it's a very unique scenario coming up between the South Node, because we're meant to move towards the North Node. The South Node was in Cancer. So karmically speaking, home, family-related dynamics, karmic partnerships, who we link to with tribe, our emotions, our feelings, our safety. These things are still playing out and we're learning. We may have ego connected to it. We may have feelings. We might be signing things, you know, ending one cycle with a home, starting a new one, could be with family. And definitely what I'm seeing coming through here is oozing that energy. Thus the reason I decided to do this. Let's get into the read. Again, anyone new in the house, big warm welcome. Those of you returning. Now, I am seeing that this energy is very pivotal, that this is a kicking off of a new cycle. So whatever's going to start kicking off, it is for this new cycle. It may not feel that way through the observation, but you're going to need to actually trust the process. Now, the ruin that we have for the moment through till November is this. And I'm going to locate it and read it for you. And I did have it, and now it's gone again. There it is. Okay, yes. Now, we do have, this links to Uranus and Taurus. Now, again, I did mention this is for this month, as I mentioned, moving to November. On the 30th, we have the full moon in Taurus. And I can't see the exact... Maybe I can if I move this. It's at 8 degrees on the 31st. I've got all of it written down here. All right. Now, Uranus and Taurus, it is currently in retrograde. It does go direct the 1st of January. It's technically, in spiritual terms, the father figure of Saturn. So it's sort of very 8th house placement. Okay, this is my legacy. I'm handing it down to you. Again, very tribe orientation coming through in the read. With this, it links to Pearl, Goose. Again, Christmas. It kind of scares me, this cryptic message. Uranus, White, and Fire. So it's the burning off of that no longer serves us. It can be the wounds, the memories, what we were fighting for. Sometimes the things we're fighting for, our ego has a belief that we kind of know how it should come about. And then when it simply doesn't go that way, when you let go, it transforms where the card falls. Shout out to Andrew. It falls, okay? So with this, let's read the mundane. Now, it is upright. Misfortune, damage, shock, sudden change, short-term distress followed by long-term rewards. Which Uranus retrograde tends to do that. It's like, right, we're taking something away from you. We're shaking it up and changing it. And when we give it back to you, it's going to be placed better than what it was before. It's also going to the spiritual path, not necessarily being so fixed on got to have an empire, everything's got to be perfect, very much attachment to Venus orientation energies. Esoterically, powerful natural forces, and I did say during the eclipses, I'm really seeing air-based frequency, Jupiter, it could be volcanic activity, it could be growth, it could be expansion, but it is there to change and shift so that we can pay attention to the real things that are important. It could be anything to do with fossil fuel or things to that degree, but we'll leave that for another tune-in. So, powerful natural forces. From a spiritual point of view, I am saying whatever is coming up is going to shift. As well as warning us of a potential crisis or catastrophe, it advises us to take care when crystallizing our ideas that we do not damage the very thing that sustains us on the most fundamental level of being. That can mean many things. Our spirituality, our belief systems, our integrity. I'm just saying if it has anything else. The ruined poem alludes to destroyer of the snake, which echoes ones of Christ attributes. Yeah, don't lose your purity through this process. Time frame before summer's end. Let's get into the read. Okay, so we have Swan in reverse. I was like, okay. appreciate the beauty inside and all around you. Maybe we're looking outside of ourselves instead of directly looking, and this can even be looking at counterpart energies. Getting to the point where you feel that there is something, a solution or something outside of you. Again, I will kind of pull this into the read. Also, maybe even questioning if it's even real. I'm grateful for other people's good fortunes. It brings me joy to see others experiencing happiness. Tiger Eye. And I kept getting Tumble during the month. So again, with such shadow energy that's playing out in the collective, there could be a lot of jealous energy. There could be a lot of ego energy. And it doesn't have to be you. It can be something you're directly experiencing and feeling. You could also be channeling energy, if you're very spiritual in nature, of people around you that have jealousy connected to your marriages, contracts, partnerships. You might also be looking at it and really wanting to be very authentic in your energy of what you're trying to create, but you may feel very stifled with where to put that energy. It may be that love is the big bugbear. It may be that you feel because that person's not with you, they don't love you. Again, that is a belief system. We have people pass over, we still love them. So that is not true. It is a story you are telling yourself without allowing that person to directly follow through. Self-love is by watching where you are looking. So it's this delay, and it really does feel like a bloody Venus retrograde, I'll just say. So what this is connecting to at the moment, the first section came through as ancient forest. And what I was being shown is these old tribal energies here. There's some of you that are on a spiritual path that are going down a road linking to where you need to be in your life. Some of you are being repositioned. Some of you are moving home. Some of you are changing relationships and connections. Some of you are white lighting yourself around these situations because they may have been ego connected to their feelings towards you. Yeah, the road less traveled. And a person asked me, a client yesterday, who's a dear friend, we all get to the point we think that we're on the wrong road. But the funny thing is, if something's destined, what you've got to get is there's no actual wrong road. It's just, like you say, the road less traveled. If you're destined to be with someone, it's destined to be. And you could take the high road or the low road, you're still going to actually get to your destination. So please don't tell yourself those false fulfilling prophecies, because from my experience, if something is destined, it is destined. And you can't fight it. You can delay things. You can, yes, we have talked a lot about black magic on YouTube. And I don't just mean on my channel. If you look at the videos, a lot of people have been talking about it. Definitely in my videos coming through, we've had the citrine, we've had the energy of Tumbeline. The chakras that have been coming up have been very much crown chakra because Neptune being retrograde, oh, thanks, Star. Neptune retrograde has been causing Psyche to be looking at things distorted with Mars retrograde, Aries retrograde, really reflecting upon what we've been, fighting on, having disagreements with, putting our energy into, and really when a retrograde happens, go inside. A person that isn't as apt with doing that, they're going to come out with ego. And you'll see the stark splits in the collective. So family and tribe is really coming up. And again, I did mention the nodes being in Cancer, and very karmically, some of these paths that haven't tied out, healed, resolved, subjects to do that can come up. Now, we may have ego very much linking to what that looks like. It can be lineage. It can be I have to do X, Y, and Z, whatever it be. I also do feel that 8th house placement, Mercury and Scorpio, a lot of you can be having very interesting dreams right now. Some of the channelings I've had when I've interpreted people's dreams has been to do with themselves. Some has been inside of spiritual connections. The colour red has been coming through. And loved ones and babies that are sort of ready to be conceived are coming into that energy as well and actually guiding you directly. So ancestor energy is very, very heavy at the moment in protection. Even through my private reads, I've had a lot of your loved ones on the other side actually come through and be giving you cryptic messages, which some of them are extremely funny, where their personality trait comes through. They're very bossy. It's like, you know, whatever you were talking about, it's really not important. I'm here to say hello. So they can come through very, very funny. Now, whatever this is, you may be getting rid of things. You may be looking at things, going over paperwork, going over your finances. Maybe even there could be a document and you're needing to read it based on this energy. There may be information coming in towards you guys. Again, this can be towards a person that has passed over at a very separate level. Separately, I am saying past tense energy. There was a female energy that was problematic. Now, that can be, especially when Pluto's retrograde, we have mother, grandmother energy coming up, elder energy. So if you find that energy at the moment has been a little bit up and down, it is because of the way the astrology is at the moment. Pluto did go direct on the 4th. However, there are shifts that are occurring with the conjunction points. Whenever I see this card, I always think, okay, you may be looking at things and wishing that this person, some of you, this is a karmic. Some of you, you're looking at this energy and you're thinking, you know, is this not in the past yet? Is this not resolved? Has this not matured? When is this going to get to the point where, you know, they're going to just be relaxed and edgy? Again, you can't actually tune into that because they didn't have the guidance that you potentially might have had due to your circumstances. But there can be some tension regarding karmic people from the past, especially with this ancient forest energy. Again, Pluto is the bringer of taking out the dead wood. It's like if something's not working, it's going to be shifted around. Uranus, once it goes direct, it's going to be shifted around. Having to learn, having to study, having to look over documents and make sure you've got your P's and Q's in order. This could even be, again, gathering tribe. Now I'm seeing gathering tribe in reverse. Nodes previously in Cancer. Needing to meditate upon that. Now, this might have really been popping off since, I would say, September. Don't know why. Maybe even further back. But it's become heavy from, as the term Jason deems. July, August, September, October, November. There's this meditation needing to create. Some of you might be dreaming, and I have noticed this through my my channelings with my clients. Some people have been dreaming about people entering. Some people have been dreaming about karmics entering. You do need to look at your dreams. Some of you are sleeping very heavily at the moment, whereas it wasn't like that before. It was exhaustion but unable to sleep. So that's really picked up. There is this feeling of disconnection, like you need to isolate yourself away from white noise. It can even be from people, places, and things, to really go into hermit mode and think about it. You may be feeling another person is doing this. This could be something you collectively are doing. Whatever these emotions are, it's resurrecting old frequency, linking to the nodes in Cancer. Oh, the joy of this path. Emotions, water, moon energy. Again, every moon energy can directly link to Pisces and Cancer. But again, we had the new moon in Libra, which again is linked to marriages, contracts, partnerships. But to move forward with that, and ending off one must happen to move into the new energy. So this is someone being physically left out in the cold and the emotions coming up in relation to this. Why? Because this was not part of the path, okay? Wasn't part of the path. It was toxic and this person has got over it. It can be persons, people, the cycle as per se. It's like it wasn't going anywhere. Resisting the temptation to maybe enable situations, look at them in a particular way. Really coming to terms with it and pausing and going, okay, we don't necessarily know when the next path is, but we do need to sit just for a little bit to gain clarity on what that new energy is going to be. So it doesn't have to come in straight away at the new moon. That's why I'm mentioning it now. So communication, be careful what you guys speak right now. Yes, there could be text messages, there could be stalking, there could be communication. Also, some of you, be very careful because, yes, pregnancies can come up at the moment. Do be cautious of that. For some of you, this is relating to a family. For some of you, this is relating to a karmic partnership and the stress relating to it. And I'm going to pull an extra card on this and find out whose side it is. Hi, Dale. Whose side is this from? What deck should I use? Maybe this one. A terrible hay fever. Jeez. This hay fever drives me crazy. How you doing? I'm off all social media. Yeah. We haven't seen me much, have you? But lots was changing in my life. I don't know how you can put so much time into such a short space of time. I do not know how I do it, honestly. Oh, okay. This person could be masculine or feminine. A lot of you are realizing what you're worth. And so it's having a gutful. It's looking at something. It's like, look, the download with the moon, the purging that comes up. It's like, look, enough is enough is enough. Yep. And that did come through a few months ago. Stressing about it. High heart chakra, Aries and Chiron, warrior of the heart. It's high heart chakra energy, and it is here in reverse. It's like not wanting to look at it, feeling guilty. You know, some people just aren't grateful, man. You can't do anything about it. Some people do have jealousy towards you. You can't do nothing about that either. Letting things go, coming to terms with the past, wishing things were different, yes, but knowing that, and I mentioned this to my daughter, not one of us is immune to adversity. And I even say, I'm not even special. I'm just another human being on the planet. Knowing that you deserve and receive good in all ways. So sometimes when you're not actually getting, you know, your path moving forward, you're sort of saying to yourself, have I not done enough healing? Is something wrong with me? No. And it's not that you've literally gone off the wrong path. It's that a journey was chosen and particular steps come about when it's ready. I'm telling you, it's really ripe and ready. Okay, some of you will have financial matters coming up between now and the end of the month. If you've been having to buy things, change things, again, it's balancing out. When we have the full moon in Taurus, completing tasks will be incredibly important. After that, again, I am seeing very spiritually that there was a person that did not value this human being inside this connection. So this person has felt that energy was old and they were unable to deal with it the way it stood. And I'm kind of getting yin yang. I'm kind of getting masculine, feminine, but we'll see how it plays out. Let's see. Okay. September. Again. Okay, moonlight. Marriages, contracts, partnerships. Again, when I get the moon energy, especially because I do cover the astrology, my guides do show me which moon energy. It's also your intuition. It's your psyche. It's listening to things, right? So with this, it is relating to, again, a karmic cycle. Uranus and Taurus may be unfair situations inside of families. Because we do have ancient forest here, we have heart chakra in reverse, and we have gratefulness in reverse. It might be that people are putting a lot of expectations on you at the moment. Some of you very separately, this is linking to a spiritual connection. You're looking at it and you're thinking you can feel that potentially a cycle is ending and it needs to end. Perception. Maybe people don't see things the way you see it. Yes, you may have sympathy for the situation and understand and have compassion, but it doesn't mean to say that these energies have that for you back. So you really have to be very disconcerting to the point of going, I empathetically understand. But again, there's reasons this is coming up. Let's research. Let's go deeper. What is this energy, please? Notice repeating signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. I feel if you are having empathy for a situation, it is telling you something about yourself, something that you're wanting for yourself. You know, 9 times out of 10, if you pick a song, it actually resonates more with what you want to hear for yourself until you can actually understand that. And then you very synchronistically can then choose it as a word or and do it very differently. So it's healing nevertheless. But there can be some things that you're getting in a psychic download. You might be feeling that this person external, connected to an ancient forest, tribe energy, is not as receptive and understanding. Maybe feels guilty, but you could be feeling guilty about this yourself. I'm not feeling that though. Oh. By this person not letting go, they're actually blocking a soulmate connection. I feel this is a karmic energy here. I feel they had thought this was something it wasn't. There has been disturbance in this, but they've been blocking other things out. This has been going on for a very long time. There are emotions coming up to do with this. I'm going to pull a chakra card. There's also, yeah, a lot of jealousy. You did nothing wrong. Yeah, a lot of toxicity. It might have been that they had a very toxic past. So this karmic potentially is feeling that this is hers, and let's move along. Yeah, that you may feel that people don't think of you in a correct fashion. People get the wrong gist of the stick. You try to make really healthy choices, even if it hurts. You're trying to look at the bigger picture and be very rational about what is correct for you. Again, I feel that people maybe aren't seeing it that way. You may have people, feminines, actually trying to speak for you, telling you what to do, how to see, how to feel, maybe, you know, what you've done. You might be saying you're a karmic, because they're trying to pull you down off your throne. And it's not that the people intentionally want to do that. It's just, instead of getting triggered, realize what we say sometimes is what we are. Not always. I had to look at it and look at had to at times look at it and go, why am I bothered about what another person says? Because if they're saying it, it's from their conditioning. It always comes way further back, because the ego is not a dirty word, as Trent says. But it's formed for protection when you're a child. It's conditioning, which we purge as we grow. Sometimes we do go back over old ground, but there could be an old situation coming up that is taking you back to that energy. And a lot of it, I do feel, is due to the noise having had been in Cancer. Some of your families might be saying, you should be married by now, you should be doing this or that. Are you going to be okay? There could be fair-based frequency about what's happening in the collective, and they're feeling maybe they have experience in this dynamic, but none of us really do. So with that, there can be some projection coming towards you at the moment, and it's triggering you. Overall, I feel, feminines, you're wanting to do the morally correct thing, but you're kind of jumping from Mars to Libra, okay? From Aries to Libra. Yeah, you're going into your masculine, you're bouncing back into the masculine. You're bouncing back and forward, which is the yin yang. It's not wrong. It's part of the process. Some of you are questioning whether you're tribe, whether you're twin, whether you're on a soul path, whether you were just a fling, what to do. This can be even you directly channeling what the karmic or divine masculine is doing. But there is something to do with a family coming up, ancient forest. And it's kind of funny because this energy that's coming through is very I'm the ancient forest. It's very, but again, you don't need to have a tag. You don't even need the term to inflame for a tag. If something's destined, it's destined. You don't need a tag. Something does not cement you having to do something in a particular way. I'll try and explain that further. If something's meant to be, it'll be. If it's not, it's not. Yeah, you can't. This, I'm telling you, you know that has to end. Hi, Dal. You know that has to end. It's like not working. So some of us are coming to terms with that. This can also be for feminines where you're looking at the past and you're going, okay, I need to leave certain things behind. I feel most of you are already doing that. Most of you are feeling that you've come to terms with past. This can be past tense romances, having empathy and understanding maybe directly towards a love interest or a masculine or a soulmate. But at the same time, this was your path, that was their path. And that's why in astrology at the moment, we've got Mars and Venus very separate. We're integrating that prior to moving forward. You're going to get some clarity, though, with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. And I do feel it can be to do with juggling, sitting on the fence. This can be to do with a particular person or to do with balance, again, with finances. But I feel it's to do with a person. I'm going to get another one on that one. Okay, whatever has been held up, a decision's been made. If you feel that this hermit mode energy is going to be there with a particular path, this can be to do with a person or, again, marriages, contracts, partnerships. And not so. They're leaving this behind. They're wanting a brand new time and they're not thinking about it anymore. They've made a decision. So I do feel this is to do with this marriages, contracts, partnerships energy. You're going to get your clarity that will help you actually move forward. There will be a separation of that does not resonate because, you know, it was because this person was afraid of commitment. Now, some of you might be also afraid, feeling that, hey, am I going into a situation I can't directly control it? We can't control anything. We can control how we come to a situation and the healing that can come through it. And it's a yes or no. It's not a right or wrong. Okay, there could also be a situation with the karmic coming up with children, for those of you who that resonates. Some of you might be scared about that. Some of you might be scared that if you were to procreate in a connection, would you be left to raise a child? But again, there is going to be a purification of this. But whatever this is, you're going to really appreciate the wisdom. And that's part of life, really. It's the wisdom inside these lessons and these painful situations that really do give us the pearls of wisdom. Jewel within a teardrop. Appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection. Something's coming. A lot of you are going, where is this? Look what I'm looking at. This is a 10. Which, again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, 10s is about, you know, connection type. Single, the only way forward. You're a dag. Too attractive to be single forever. 10, right. Jewel within a teardrop. So your healing time and your purging and you're letting go and you think this is never going to happen. This person's like, no. The healing, there is healing between you, but you're thinking it's not happening. Just when you let go, this is when it's coming through, but I feel it's moving into the beginning weeks of November. Okay. As soon as karmic energies came up, I'll pull 3. Which deck should I use? What do we need to know? And what is the lesson? for this. Outcome. So funny yesterday. Yesterday I kept saying in my head, and I've heard feminine say this a lot, is, the zebra doesn't change its stripes. And I kept hearing it in my head, and I was like thinking, no, this was a mirroring between karmic and masculine. Now, white buffalo, this can be a burden that's being let down, but this karmic energy is not wanting to take responsibility, right? Part of this is to help them heal. They may also want to heal this connection. They're perplexed as to how to make that happen. This is not going to happen. Yeah, something's going down. It could be lying and deception and unwilling to let a path go. Let's pull a clarifier on how the soul connection is relating to this. I was like, what's up in the hood with this? You'll find that as Mars goes direct, we have that November 14th. The last 2 to 3 weeks is going to be hell. What was the card in reverse? Which one? What was the card in reverse? White buffalo. We've got white buffalo in reverse, and we've got eagle medicine in reverse. Burdens, not being carried, responsibilities, yep. Can't be one-sided. Okay, so masculine or feminine, whoever dealt with this person or people, not wanting to fight about this anymore because it was becoming a burden, and maybe this person was bringing things up. The healing is for the karmic to heal inside themselves. A viewpoint of what is divine has been viewed. Whoa, way too many. What is the great mystery, please? What's the masculine one? They know there's going to be an outcome. They don't know quite what it's going to be. They know there's going to be a consequence for this, but they're accepting of it. Where they're taking it, it's funny because inside this tree, we've gone from ancient forest to them actually holding their heart and knowing what family means, which doesn't have to be DNA. It's spiritual value with the 7. They know who they're connected to, both in the 3D and the 5D, but they're also choosing their own spiritual path. What is that, please? Yeah, they're facing their fears and they're spreading their wings. They're moving away from this. They had been in hermit mode, stuck in that vibration for a while, and they're no longer wanting to do that. How is the karmic seeing this? Or karmics? That they've lost them. That they have no control. The heart wants what the heart wants in their own life. Okay. Visioning quest. What is this eagle medicine? How is masculine seeing this? No. They're not seeing it. That's funny because it didn't want to come out. They're really focusing on their own life. They're focusing on their own life and their own energy. Whatever's going down. What is this energy going down? Is masculine aware of it? It's left out in the cold energy. All right. What is this trickster? How is the masculine seeing this? They've seen it before. They know. They're not dumb. It's like an old record. Look at this. It's like a broken record. Same song. Okay, what is this new cycle of life that the karmic isn't having and the karmic doesn't want the masculine to have? Okay, so first for the karmic, what is this new cycle, please? Whoa. No, she's just focused over here. Lower vibration energy. Okay, what is the masculine moving towards? That's really weird. They're not doing the same pattern. They've got this card in reverse. Helpless and hopeless. It's in reverse. They're not feeling like a victim anymore. They're feeling empowered. Yeah, they didn't feel loved in this situation or respected. Okay. Yeah, they're healing. This is healing. So, look, this will happen in many ways. This will happen inside connections. And look, some of you, you know, when you look at readings, readings can resonate for weeks. What I'm feeling here, especially with Mars retrograde, this is closing a cycle out because Mars is going to be going direct. So it's happening in this current cycle. These changes, 2021 is a 5 vibration. They're all about changes. They're inevitable. We can't avoid them. Some of them will be good. Some of them may not be so good, but it's change nevertheless. And some of those things we will be aware of. Some of them we won't. I do feel this is a karmic cycle in a sense of, you know, trying to balance things out, trying to come to it, you know, in different angles. And if it hasn't transformed, some of that closure does directly happen inside the connection, even without karmics being aware. And look, you don't have to be on a soul path for it to be just that. If you don't feel a journey resonates with you, your soul healing is going to come through. If you don't feel you resonate with the job or a certain way of thinking, the same situation is happening with Mars retrograde. A lot of connections you'll find with this transit, because it's been such heavy Capricorn, they've been very hard to have solid connections. If your connection has been codependent, it won't balance. Why? Because we've had such heavy Capricorn energy. So although we can spiritually take it personal, if we do see how many hundreds of people on YouTube going through synchronistic similar energies, we can say it is collective energy. That each of us has felt in some shape or form that we've had to do something on our own. We haven't had, you know, long, extended flowing connections. And again, if you look at astrology, it is talking about the aspect of accountability, responsibility, karmic energy. Yeah. Well, those of us are in union. We are going through those things, but we're still going to have these things potentially come up, and there can be interferences and revolts. And if you're detached and it's on your side or it's on your love interest side, it's just allowing that to flow. You do directly see the person. Everybody transforms. Nobody can, especially if you were acting from a fair-based frequency, it's actually not innately who you ever were. So yes, at some point that, you know, showing of your innate beautiful true colors is going to come through because you learn lessons and you go, this really isn't serving me. Initially, the poker face energy can come through, hurt people. And then when it transforms, you actually see the real light of that person. Any questions on the hands? So basically, what I'm picking up at the moment, which I may pick 3 more cards from a different deck, is I do feel there could be fights and discussions connecting to tribe energy. Tribe energy coming up in the next week. We'll have to see what comes through. Steering clear of it, trusting the process, you focusing on your side, feminines, masculines, you focus on yours. True that. But be mindful of it. You know, be mindful if you are getting a psychic download. Thank you. I can't wait. You've been very 3D at the moment, MM, and it's weird because now that that book's been done, you're kind of like, what do I do now? Yeah, but there is more. I'm saying there's more. There's more books. There's more something, right? Because you can't see beyond. It's in reverse. So it might be a lot going on at the moment. Mars being retrograde, it can cause a bit of foggy energy. When it goes direct, you'll find these new energies will come in. But I do see 3 contracts. I see 3 opportunities. Let me get another card for you. Yeah, you're going with flow. You're all good. Surrender, because what's coming is good. I see you moving. Yeah, you've got everything under control. I don't have a bad feeling. If your feelings go very quiet, a sudden move will happen after that. You can ask a question, sweet. What would you like to know? Yeah, it's got a good feeling. I do see 3 paths. I do see a potential move. I've got good vibe around you. But if you do get confused in the next week, it's come up in your cards, don't stress. Yeah, you're just moving forward. Emma, you're moving forward. There, I'm seeing something to do, and I don't know why I'm seeing child. Trust it. You'll be fine. Why am I seeing children, Emma? Is there children external shared care situation? Why am I saying that? My seat's going cold. Probably is cold. Parents, we drink cold things. We're used to it because we watch it. No external. Are there any external situations going on? Because I'm seeing external. I don't feel or bother by it. You're just moving forward. Yeah, with it, you're just moving forward. Anyhow. If you're trying to make... Yeah, is it on his side? Is he having issues with potentially shared care or something like that? Because it feels like it is going to kind of level out. It will calm down. But I do feel you guys are making a decision about something. Accommodation in 2021 can come up for you. Although I feel I like your home. I don't know why, but that's sort of what I'm feeling. But it's bigger picture because some transformations and shifts about can happen. Yeah, you're going to be fine, probably around August. Oh. You can, Miss Doll. And then I will have to go because I need to get the video stamped. If you're wanting to look at reading, the link is below. Thank you for the donations. I appreciate it. You may have movement. Miss Doll, you may have movement. There's something here. Again, it can be leaving one situation, going towards another. I'm also seeing potential disagreements, could be with family members. I'm feeling more, I see a male energy. There's a male energy. One last card, and then I'm going. So do you want to know about your house move, do you? You could be just keeping it together, right? I don't feel that the energy's bad. I feel that you've just been busy doing things, getting things organised. It feels more grounded, but it feels like there could be something that just pops up, but you're keeping in control of it. You're keeping tabs on it. I will, sweet. You take care. Now, love, I just think you're going to be really strict. Unless people are coming correct, you're going to be the doors to the left. because you will sense if the person hasn't done their work. It could be a mirror of you, but I'm feeling it's you're observing it. You're like, you're going to sense it, okay? So if someone is a bit iffy in their communication, it's not going to be permanently. It's just temporarily. It might be almost like, tongue-tied. Trust it. But, try not to get triggered. I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'll talk to you all later.